in the group. So hi everyone. So today we're going to discuss about UDF. Okay, UDFs. Group లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి జైనా. So today we're going to discuss about UDF. So user defined functions. Okay. So user defined functions. So it means like UDF means user defined functions. Suppose so in Snowflake, as the requirement, so we need to create some functions. Okay, so a user, I am the one user in the Snowflake. So a user different function UDF, Snowflake is a custom function, so created by the users to perform logic that is not available by default in Snowflake. So that function don't have in the Snowflake. Suppose we are giving percentage salary by our tax. Okay, so on the product based tax, on the product wise, on the price. Okay, those are we have some built-in function in the Snowflake. So but we don't have some other functions. Okay, uh, so like we can do calculate tax using UDF. So calculate tax. Okay, so we can format the customer name and so mask the employee salary. So and we can do the transformations. So we can apply the business transformation repeater using the UDF. So like we have different. So what are the first we're going to see what are the system so defined functions. What are the system defined function? So then in Snowflake, then what are the user defined functions? So UDF means user defined functions that are we going to create. So system defined functions in Snowflake. What are the system to define functions in the Snowflake? Okay. So we have string functions, right? String functions. Okay. So like upper, okay, and lower, and so init cap. Okay. So trim, okay, length, trim, and length. Okay. So length. Okay. So these are we have a string functions. So for we're going to give like so every letter in that string goes like in uppercase. Lower it going to be in the lower case. And init cap. So whatever it in the string value like suppose my name is like so whatever suppose I have a name like this. So and then like this. So what it going to give? So when we apply an init cap, first letter it going to give caps. So remaining will be lowercase letters. Okay. So this is trim means it going to remove. Suppose when we are receiving a value in string space and I'm giving space again. So this is the value. Now if we check the length of this one, so 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 totally. But when we apply the trim, after applying the trim, so it's going to be like okay, it going to remove the this unnecessary spaces. Okay, so length like suppose I am giving this one. So this is how to find length like 7. Okay, so this one. So upper it give like this. So lower it going to give like this. Okay, so these are string functions in the Snowflake. So we have already okay, string functions. Then so what are the other functions we call system defined functions? So like we have numeric functions, right? So numeric functions. So what are the numeric functions? What are the numeric functions in the Snowflake? We have like so current date. Okay. So and we have data add. So data add function. We can add date. So suppose we have one date. So for that, so we can add one more date. Data add function. Then we have a date difference. Okay. We have current timestamp. Okay, so these are by system defined functions. System defined function. Then we have, okay, so conditional functions. So we have conditional functions. So what are the conditional functions? If, okay, so then null if, okay, so these are conditional if. Then decode, okay, so decode like case statement. So we are using a case statement, right? Like that we also have decode. So like that also we're going to work. Like, so we have some conservation function. So when we going to use these conservation functions, okay. So when we are loading data into the Snowflake, in that scenario, we're going to use these conservation functions like to date. Suppose we have different date in the source system, and in our table we given different data type, okay, date format. So in that scenario, we're going to use this consider function. Suppose we are receiving, I have created a column with a number. So, but I am receiving data with like so string values, or there is like a number I'm receiving work here. Okay, in that scenario, we can use two number and two work here. These functions, two work here. Okay, so these are the like system defined functions we have in the Snowflake. Okay, then what do you have other functions? uh, so when these are functions we have, okay, basically, and we also have other functions, case statement, okay, for different functions we have. Okay, so what are this current date or data add, okay, date difference. So first open the Snowflake account. So I'm selecting SQL file. Okay. Then so use database, raw database. So then create schema. So UDF. Okay. So then these are the functions we have, right? So these are the functions we have in the Snowflake. Okay. We have then current date difference. Okay. So here we have. Okay. So these are the functions we have in the Snowflake. So like suppose running. Okay. So select current date. So it's going to 2026 John 7th. Okay. So as per our account, when we created the region, we selected Singapore, right? So that's why it's showing date like John 7th. Okay. So this is current date. Okay. Date add. So it's going to add the date. Suppose select. Okay. Using date add function. So then I'm giving the so today, then 3, and come to the current date. Okay, so what is happening now? It's showing the so 7th, right? Then it's adding 3 days, 8, 9, 10, like that. Okay, so date difference is going to give difference between the two dates. Okay, so current timestamp, okay, it's going to show like this. Okay, so that's current timestamp. Okay, so what are these one? So 2026 month, uh, day, and time. Okay, so hours, minutes, seconds, and some others. Okay, so when we use current date, we only get this one. Okay, so this only year, month, day. So but when we are using current timestamp, it's going to get completely month, okay, year, month, day and time also. Okay, this is the difference between current date and current timestamp. Okay, so these are functions. Okay, these are completely SQL concept. Okay, these are system defined functions. Okay, so now as per the business logic, okay, I'm going to create some functions. Okay, built in as the requirement to calculate the tax. Okay, so why UDFs are exiting in Snowflake? So as per the business logic, when we need anything to keep tax per product wise, okay, different the marking policy, okay, when we are doing the transformation repeatedly, so instead of writing the same logic again and again, so we can create UDF once and we can reuse that UDF. Okay, if you're doing anything. So what are the UDF? User defined function. So we are the users. So we are defining that UDF. So that's why we can call it user defined function. Okay. So what are the types of UDFs we have? Okay. We have scalar UDF. Scalar UDF. So what it going to return? So it's going to return like single value for the row. Okay. Single value. So when we execute them, it's going to give single value. Okay, this one scalar UDF. Okay, so then again we have some other UDF like a tabular UDF. Okay, main important are scalar and tabular. So UDF. So like what it going to return? It going to returns. Okay, first it going to returns single value, but okay, when we are writing these UDF on the uh, as with the requirement on the table, so it going to returns the okay, so result set like a table. So these are set like a table. Okay, and so we also going to apply. Okay, so some external UDF. The external UDFs also we have. Okay, external UDF. So what is like external UDF? Okay, we're going to apply on the uh, AWS. Okay, lambda. Okay, and C and GCP. So we have GCP and so GCP cloud function that we're going to use. Then we have calling any API systems. Okay, ML models we're going to use. So these are external UDF. Okay, so what is our language for UDF? So in which language we can write the UDF? Okay, so basically UDF language. Okay, support languages. So what are the languages we have? So we have basically first thing we have SQL. Okay. So SQL is common, right? Okay. SQL we can use SQL and we can write the UDF. Okay. So then we have JavaScript. Okay. So JavaScript also we can use, okay, for the UDF. Okay. And we have Python. So and then Scala. Okay, so these are we have. Okay, so SQL, JavaScript, Python, Scala. So in it they will ask us, so what language you use? Okay, so we need to go with SQL, structured query language or SQL. Okay, this one. So next go to so first I will show the syntax. Okay, so create function, create replacer function. Okay, so UDF name. Okay, here I pass value input like this. So then again we go to returns. Okay, so here we're going to write dollar dollar. Okay, so here SQL code. Okay, so what we are doing. Okay, suppose I'm doing okay function value one plus value two value. Suppose I have two values here, so it is the one. Then I'm giving so value two for data. Okay, so we don't have space here, so we need to give the underscore. Just simply again, so going to return the int. Okay, so equal to value one plus value two. Then again dollar dollar dollar. So semicolon. So control enter. It's going to create the UDF. Then how to use it? Okay. Select UDF name and pass any values. And I'm going to pass to semicolon. Then it's going to be the so output like sum of 100 and 200. Okay. It will be 300. So this is how to create UDF. Okay, this is the basic syntax. Okay, so then after creating, how to call it? Select UDF name. So inside we need to pass the values on the 20. Suppose if I pass only one value, it's going to throw the error. Suppose if I pass more values, more than two values, so it's going to throw the error. Suppose if you want to pass three values, so again you need to add one value here. Okay, so here also, then you can pass it. Okay, so this is how UDF going to work. Okay, so UDF we have two types, scalar and tabular. So scalar is oh, like on the single values, okay, and the normal values is going to be a single row, and tabular is going to be the table. Okay, so where we going to use so in real time these UDF functions. So where we going to use real time. Use language SQL that we're going to use in the procedure, not in the UDF. Okay. So some real-time work use cases or real-time project. So use cases. Okay. Where we going to use? Suppose I have banking project. So here I'm going to find the rule is like customers age. So under 18. Okay. So cannot get credit card. So cannot get credit card. Okay, this is one scenario. So in that scenario, we could apply. So we going to use flag for eligible. Okay, for flag eligible customers. So like that, we going to. Okay. So then again, we have retail project. So what is retail project? So how we going to write? So discount. Okay, the discount on the product for different products. Okay, for different products. Okay, how we going to give the difference? So for calculating the after giving the discount final price. So that is in the retail project, for example, and healthcare domain. Okay, so healthcare project what we going to do? So here masking like okay patient details. Okay, so patient details or names. Okay. Okay. So only so when we use we are hidden names, then what it going to display? So it going to show only initial names. So initial names, okay, initial names is going to display. So this is like masking data using the so UDF. So then some other having like global company. So country codes. Suppose we have we like global company, any public global company. So here how it going to apply? So country code. So we have different countries, different. So in one table I have country code. Okay. and some other details about country. In another table I have, okay, country names. Okay, so then I need to do the map for the country code full names. So like that we can use UDF in that scenario. Okay, so UDF fixes the invalid country formats like that. Okay? So how you going to tell in your project? So in my project, I use user-defined functions to apply reusable business rules. So one example was a product tax calculation where different categories and different tax percentage. So instead of repeating case logic in all queries, I created a UDF and called it inside pipelines and task. So this improved reusability, consistency, and reduces the errors. So I also created a table returning UDF to fetch customer location details based on the customer IDs. Okay, so I will share the notes. You can follow that one. Okay, so now, so how we going to create? Okay, we're going to create table. Then we're going to write the UDF function on that table. Okay, so I will do practically. Then, I'm gonna change over here. So here I'm create table. Use create table product table. So I'm giving ID int, okay, then product to varchar, then price, okay, number. Like this. Okay. So now what about this one? Ready? So I created one table. So now I need some data. Now I have this data. Okay. So number of rows inserted. Select it. Start from table name. Then why? What is the table name? Just now I created, right? Correct. Sales. Select start from product sales. Okay. Then I have we have ID, product, and price. Okay. So these are we have 21 rows. Okay. నేను అవుతున్నారా నాకే గుర్తుకు లేదని అంతే కదా శేఖర్. So
ఏం లేదు బ్రో.
next we going to write the UDF. Okay, create or replace a function. Okay, so then we're going to give cost tax. This is the function name. So here I'm giving the price. Okay, float data type, then tax percentage. So passing two values. Okay. So then again for this also float data type. Okay. So then what it going to returns? So returns float. Okay. And as keyword and dollar dollar. So previously in syntax. So here also we need to give them as keyword. Okay. So as keyword. Don't forget. So dollar dollar. Okay. So again use what I'm going to do. So price and or two. So tax part. So tax part. So then again, I need to find the give the percentage, right? So I need to multiply with the divided by 100. Okay, this is so price into tax percentage by 100. Okay, so again dollar dollar. Okay, so semicolon. So now what is going to be? So function tax successfully created. So are we going to use? So are we going to what it going to returns and are we going to do? Okay, select function name. What is tax? Okay, so try to apply. Okay, uh, so price. Okay, and tax percent giving 10. Okay, what is the price? So select C. It going to throw error or going to give proper output from so it's not doing it. So now this is percentage. Okay, so I'll give one more column. Then you understand. Okay, so this is value. Okay, 65,000, 10%, 605. Okay, like the 500, 10%, 50. Suppose if I change here 20, okay, like this. Okay, 500, 100. Okay, 500, 100, 200, 240. Okay, this is 20%. How we can find this one? Suppose if you want to get entire data, try to use okay, star comma, it's going to give